Mr. Sibal, when you just spoke about the tall promises made by Aam Aadmi Party, even Congress made a lot of tall promises. If I take you back to 2009, they said that the Prime Minister said that within 3 months he's going to slash down the prices, but that has never happened. If Mr. Kejriwal has promised something like that, why are we expecting so much out of him in just 1 month's time, knowing very well that he's not experienced? Shouldn't we give him a fair chance?
Why do you think we've not withdrawn support? We're giving him that chance. Let him deliver free water to the people.
But he's been criticized every day
with
for
what's
the
not
move
nothing
that
wrong.
he's
We
taken.
also get criticized. And incidentally, as far as Congress party is concerned, we've fulfilled all our promises. The right to information, we brought it. Right to education, we brought it. Food security, we brought it. Land acquisition, we brought it. Decentralization of government, we brought it. Taking away arbitrary powers of ministers. We have no arbitrary powers anymore, no discretion anymore. Through a group of ministers, we have done it. We've done, in fact, 90% of what we said in our manifesto, we have fulfilled.
Then why is it that people are so fed up with the Congress government? If 90% of the work has been fulfilled, why is there anger? Why are people seething all over?
As I tell you, in the new age of a communications revolution, people want results like instant coffee, right? People say, if I can watch the rest of the world and see what's happening around there, why can't I have what others have? But nations are not built in a day. Now you say, I want a university like Harvard or Stanford in India. But Harvard and Stanford were built in 200 years. You can't get it in 10 years. But people want that because these are people's aspirations. Now, and this is because of the enormous communications revolution that has taken place in this country. And I think this will also settle down. People will realize after a period of time that nothing can be done overnight. And that's really the problem that, and so this is true of most governments. You see all around the world it's the same. You have the protests in Wall Street, you have protests in Egypt. See, Egypt wanted change, right? And see what has happened to Egypt today? Those people on the streets are much worse off than they were before.
Do you see a parallel between Kejriwal and Egypt?
No, I'm not seeing any parallels. I'm just giving you, it's a global phenomenon. It is not just a phenomenon limited to India. But because we are a mature democracy, we haven't sort of degenerated into anarchy.
Kapil, you spoke of a son getting some experience before he takes over. I'm just asking about the son in your party. How much experience does he have to gain before he really takes over?
Well, that's for the party to decide, and that's for him to decide. He has said quite openly that if after the election the party wants him to take over, he will.
Do you think Rahul is ready to be Prime Minister? Do you think he's worthy of being India's Prime Minister?
I mean, I think it's whether anybody is worthy or not is something that the political party decides. It's not for anybody else to decide. And that only happens if that political party is able to form a government of the same.
No, but let me ask you this question. Can you give this audience 4 reasons why you believe Rahul Gandhi is a good candidate to be India's Prime Minister?
I think that if the party chooses him to be the candidate, he is a good candidate.
But that's not the only reason. People, in today's democracy, you elect someone, you give a job to someone you believe is worthy of that job. Give us 4 reasons you believe Rahul is a good candidate.
I think that's a wrong question to ask.
Why?
Because we are not in a presidential form of government. Please understand, there is a distinction between a presidential form of government and a parliamentary democracy. In a presidential form of government, you elect the candidate, like the French president or the American president. He goes out and says, you please elect me. I will decide the policy, right? And then if my party gets a majority in the Senate or gets a majority in the House of Representatives, then of course I'll negotiate. I'll negotiate with
But elections in India are getting more and more presidential.
You are forgetting the difference. This is why you are asking the wrong question. Why do I think I said that to you? You are asking the wrong question.
How is it the wrong question?
Why? Because here in a parliamentary democracy, what is decided by people, which party they're going to vote for, is on issues, not on A leader or B leader. But remember, you cannot, unless the parliamentary party itself has an ideology, and that ideology is clear to the people of this country, then only will the people have an informed...
So you have no reason that you can give us for Rahul to be Prime Minister?
No, why? The reason is...
Give us some reasons.
Well, I tell you, again, you are asking the same question. The reason is that...
But it's a question that people are asking. Do you believe... Let me ask the audience.
Rahul, one second. It's a question that he answered himself in the recent Adhiveshan. He said, in our system, under the Constitution, the parliamentary party elects a leader who then becomes the Prime Minister of this country. And that's what will happen in the event Congress party...
With your permission, I'd like to ask the audience this question. Do you believe it is important today for Rahul Gandhi to explain to all of us why he deserves to be India's Prime Minister. Is that not a legitimate question? How many of you agree? Can I have a show of hands, please? You think it's a legitimate question?